I knew mud was going to be a problem with this being in a hole, but this is definitely the muddiest it's ever been whenever I've showed up to the spot. So hopefully it'll dry out today. It's supposed to get to 60 during the day. But the only other problem I've seen is right here. You can see where I've packed in a lot of this. It is all came crumbling down. So I'll probably need to pack that down a little bit today as well. One thing that I will want to do while it's still muddy down here is I'm going to need to hammer in these cross-sectional poles. So I'm going to need to dig a hole. So that'll be a good thing to do when it's muddy. I also could not get a hand shovel in time for this trip, so I'll be using just a good old kitchen spoon. Alright, we're off to a little bit of a bumpy start. I don't want to say bad, but I just spent way more time than I ever thought I would have to getting these poles in the ground just because it's so muddy, honestly. Alright, time to finally try and put a piece on the back wall. And I guess we're going to find out if it's going to fall down on us or not. Alright, those poles really do not want to stay in place, and I'm going to have to figure out something to fix this. Do not have any technical training or skills. I do not have a clue how to tie any special knots or anything. All right. This honestly, it took a little bit more logs than I was expecting. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough for this wall right here on the side, but it's drying up, you know, from the sun, so no complaints. It's still muddy, but at least there's no longer a puddle. All right, I did foresee that I was gonna have to do some problem solving today, but not as much as I've had to. If you take a look here, for me to tie these poles together, it's gonna rip all the mud out of the bottom. So I think the only option I really have here is to just tear this wall out some and then dig this pole deeper. My hands are dry and filthy. Even the mud is starting to cake and dry and peel on them. Shoot. There's one. Probably should have slid it down. I just keep running into problems. I've been going at it since about 8:30 this morning, and I want to say it's like 3:30 in the afternoon now. And I think I've took maybe 1 or 2 very small breaks. I've had no food, no nothing. And I really did not think I was going to have enough time to get this up today. One thing that I'm going to do next is try and put this tarp over. But the plan was, like I said earlier, was to get the wood stove going in here and get it warm, and then hopefully that would dry out the place a little bit. But I really don't think that's going to happen either way. It is so muddy. So I don't really know what the plan's going to be with that yet. Cheers. I knew that one tarp wasn't going to cover it, so I made sure to bring a second one. All right, take a look. I think this is honestly so cool. All right, I've still got one more obstacle to get over before we're out of the woods here. I have never folded up the flute to my hot stove, so I'm gonna try that for the first time here in a second. But after that, I'm gonna just cut a hole in here up in the top, and then I think we should be okay. This is honestly insanely frustrating since I busted my butt doing all this, and I brought out 2 heavy loads of stuff out here, but I just can't get the stove pipe up, and I can't even get it to a point where it's even usable. So I'm gonna have to pack up and just head back in the morning once I figure it out at home. But honestly, so much extra work and so annoying.